question.
Yes.
Have you and that gentleman over there ever thought of getting a little routine and thinking?
Yeah, we did that at the Power Squad. We lectured for 25 years together at the Power Squad. We became known as the Rowan Martin Show.
Yes.
Well, you are going to introduce, I'm not sure if it's Martin.
Oh, I don't look forward to this.
I think we all are, actually.
He's Jack Lemon.
Yeah, we're now on Walter Powell and Jacqueline.
All right.
Come on, Stanley.
Oh, I was almost fell asleep.
We go back, ladies and gentlemen, we go back to 1928.
Don't get into my story, I'm going to tell him that.
Ignore that part. Stan is a local boy. He'll tell you all about his family, both of them. And he'll tell you, I can tell you that he was mediocre. You know, I don't think he ever finished high school or something. But he did go to, Adolf Hitler called him over. And he went over there and he had 4 or 5 years over there. And then they brought him home and sent him to college, and he had to learn because they're pushing him through. And he come out a judge, one of those people that take all your money. A lawyer. He come out a lawyer. That's what he did. And then he became a provincial court judge, and he really did well. And I hate to say it, but he has been a good friend.
Oh, yes. It's just, this is a great opportunity. He mentioned the birthday is the 23rd of December. Now, we're in the coffee club. I'm inviting you all to his birthday on December the 23rd. It'll be held at the Yacht Club because he has to buy coffee for everybody that gets there. I got him up to $200 or $300 one year because I phoned #1 fire hall and helped them put on their computer to all their fire halls. This year we had 4 fire trucks and about 400 firemen. So I got even with them every now and again. But I was just going to say a couple of things about the previous speakers. Bob Wong's sister worked with me for a number of years in the law business, and we're still friends. She sends us a Christmas card every year. I went to school, all the way through school, with Chuck Wong. I played in the Morris Kushner Symphony Orchestra with Lila Wong, who ended up going to Europe, to England actually, and ending up being the concert mistress rather, of the Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra. And another kid in the Morris Kushner Symphony Orchestra, a guy called, let's see, his grandfather was Jackie Greer, who played trombone in the concert band. Dennis Simons by name, that was his name. He ended up out of Kushner's orchestra going to London and being the concert master of the London Symphony Orchestra. So it's amazing with some of the things that have happened out in Nanaimo. And going back to the Mansons, I was a very good friend of Doug Manson, a fantastic drummer, because he, as I say, he ran away and joined the circus at, I think, age 15. And Doug and I have been all over North America with the Shrine Band, playing various functions with the Shrine Band. So the Manson family is well known, and my dad worked for the Mansons for years driving a horse and buggy. And I have to tell you a cute little story that in those days Mansons sold everything, including feed for the farms and so forth. And they used to have this sacks of stuff all stacked up in the shed, and the little bad little guys in those days come along and cut the bottom sack, and the whole pile of sacks would fall over. So he caught one of these little kids one day, and he got him outside, and had horses in those days, so he dunked them up and down in the manure pile, and that finished the problem. So I guess that's where I got a lot of my ideas for dealing with the juveniles. But another thing about the Manson store is they religiously every night when they close, they put the shutters up on the store, or on the windows rather, and they're still there. I went by it the other day, and the shutters are still there. And they never had an incandescent light bulb in the store. They went from carbide lights until 1945, when Wes came back from overseas. He went right to fluorescent lights. And thing I liked about Manson's, they used to have a great big barrel filled with ginger snaps. And I went down to get our groceries from Manson's. Their phone number was 272, incidentally. And I would get, help myself to all the ginger snaps I wanted. And she mentioned about the things up in the attic. A lot of the old boots and things out of the attic went to the museum up at Barkerville. So when you go to Barkerville, some of the Manson stores, goods are still there.
Even the calendars.
A calendar too, is it? Oh yeah. But anyway, I'll get back to my original subject. My grandfather came here in 1887 with my mother and my dad, who was a year old at the time. And he came out here to run the tug for the coal mines that Albert mentioned about the barge that used to take the miners from where the high rises are now, where you live, over to Protection Island 3 times a day, 20 to 7, 20 to 3, and 20 to 11. And it was the same crew every day. Dan Martin was the captain, his son was the deckhand, and Dave Mackey was the engineer. And the whistle blew at 25 to 7 and 25 to 3, let them know that they were about to leave, and you were very far away, you had to run to catch the boat. And I used to ride on it quite a lot. I was a good friend of Dave Mackey's. After the 3 o'clock run, they used to go down where the railway barge comes in now and pick up a barge load of junk, old coal and stuff out of the mine, and take it out and dump it off Jack's Point. These were the days before environmentalists. So my grandfather came over here to run that tug in 1887. The reason I have a little mix up there, the lady that we got the property from on Valdez Island came here in 1885.
How old were you then?
13. I never stuck for an answer, Al. I've dealt with worse people than you.
You were almost paid for your answer.
I might say very well paid. But my grandfather ran that boat when he first came here. Then he got into a larger boat. He bought a boat that was a bit of a wreck called and they ran, I call it a steam packet. It was about a 150-foot boat. They were running loggers and logger supplies up Jervis Inlet and Howe Sound until April the 4th, 1904. They just come out of Vancouver Bay, which is a logging outfit there, and there still is actually. And they came out around and started further up Jervis Inlet and ran into what they call Moorsman's Bluff. It was an old boat, stove in the bow, and they tried to get it across the river to Britain River on the other side of the thing. It eventually sunk in about 400 feet of water, or 600 feet of water. They rode for 2 days from there to get to Pender Harbor before they got a CPR boat, or the old Comox, Princess Comox, I think they called it, to get back to Vancouver. So anyway, my dad was on that boat, my uncle and one of my aunts, and so it must have been Easter time because they were away from school. But anyway, my dad came, he worked, as I say, worked for Manson's. He also worked for, we had a very educated brewery in the town. It was called the UBC, Union Brewing Company. That was the beer, UBC beer. Some of the older people remember that. And he drove horse and buggy for them too for many years. He should have stayed with the liquor business. He probably made more money.
Empty bottles.
What do you say, Walter?
Empty bottles.
Well, empty bottles. You collect the empty bottles. I emptied when you get too busy bottles. Anyway, he got into the bicycle business, and in those days, it was 60 Victoria Crescent, where the Esplanade joins Victoria Crescent. The restroom for the city was on that corner. There was an empty lot. Then the bicycle store and another store that my dad had. But we were all up on stilts. And the salt chuck came in right under the boat. They're under the building. And we didn't have environmentalists in those days, so any junk that we wanted to get rid of, just open up the trap door and dropped it into the ocean.